They were a pair of Price's lads, and both were free from guile. Bob hailed from Scotland, and bedads Jim owned to Erin's Isle. And Price's knock-kneed, worn-out prods, they drove in great old style. One morning Price said, "Boys, begob, the wind I'll have to raise. Faith, Jimmy, saddle up the cob, I'll travel to Macraes, and lave the farm to you and Bob, I'll be away someday." The days had passed and Bob and Jim a glorious time had they. For Price's prods were very slim and needed rest each day. They could not work from daylight dim until the twilight grey. But Price was coming home again, by mail the news arrived, and Bob and Jim with might and main a dinner grand contrived. For after such a ride 'twas plain the boss must be revived. 'Twas Sunday, and with Sunday face Jim smiled aloud to Bob, and said, "Just tidy up the place, I'll try my hand, begob, and make a soup with lave trace forever on his knob." With leek spuds, bones, all apropos, the pot it soon did fill, and set it on the stones, you know, they'd quarried on the hill. They made a fire of collio to boil that soup for Bill. Bob came along to have a look, the soup was boiling high. "Hoots, Jimmy, you're a famous cook, but just some seasoning try. There's Price's hat on that old hook, 'twill all you need supply." They were a pair of Price's lads, as I before have told, and Price himself, like Price's prads, was fairly worn and old. So Jimmy said, "Faith, Bob, bedads, 'twould warm his stomach cold." Into the pot the hat he threw, the soup rose strong and high. An aromatic flavor flew towards the midday sky, and just as if the time he knew, old Price came riding by. They laid the table just for one, both Bob and Jim had dined. The boss, of course, must share with none a dainty so refined. He supped the nectar all alone, and thought the lads most kind. When all was o'er, he rose with joy, and smacked his lips with glee. "Faith, Jimmy, you're the very boy to make a soup," said he, "for ne'er before did I enjoy such flavorality." But Jimmy smiled and winked at Bob, and now you have it pat. The finest soup in Hyde, begob, was made from Price's hat.